I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Sean Penn.
Hey, Sarge, you gotta give me a minute here on this thing we're doing.
Between innocence, loyalty,
Everybody else is up for this!
and obedience.
Be advised, you best just relax and try to forget about this thing.
Lies conscience.
We're supposed to be here to help these people.
Casualties of War. Rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a review, a pay request for Deshonde. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, feel free to request whether it be a review, a topic, a reaction, a re-review, any other type of pay request. You just send them either directly to my PayPal or my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. And this is for Casualties of War. Now, this is directed by Brian De Palma. Came out in 1989. And sadly, I don't think he did too great in the box office. Could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like that. I don't know why. Because there were other Vietnam movies at the time that were doing well, like Platoon, among others. I don't know, maybe people were getting tired of Vietnam movies. Maybe they thought, I've seen one, I've seen them all, which is not the case, because this is a very different type. And very good. To me, easily one of the best films dealing with Vietnam. And more specifically, this deals with Sally, based on a true story. And it might have, funny enough, this actually has a little thing. It might say a little bit. Casualties of War began as an article published in the New Yorker in 1969 that was later expanded into a full-length book by its author. So they got Vietnam veteran David Rabe to adapt the book to the screen. And they shot the film in Southeast Asia, and specifically in Thailand. And they got a lot of good actors in this. Michael J. Fox, this proves he could do dramatic work. It truly does. Because at the time, he was known for Back to the Future, Teen Wolf, films of that nature, The Secret to My Success. And this is, yeah, he had done, there's Bright Lights, Big City, other serious stuff. But this one in particular, I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie, Michael J. Fox, but I do think this and The Frighteners, granted The Frighteners is still a little bit more comedic, they showcase his dramatic talents the best. Because you really feel for Michael J. Fox's character. And each time I see Michael J. Fox on the screen, there's always a certain sadness to it. because of what he's going through, because what he was, his affliction. And there's that greedy, selfish part of me that goes, man, there's so much stuff he could have done, he should have done, he would have done, all the movies he could have been in, but because of this stupid fucking thing. And also, it just seems like he's a really good, nice guy, and it's sad that's happened to. Like, oh god, man, this guy nowhere near deserves this, and he's going, Parkinson's. And then when you see him in interviews, it's hard because, he can't help it. The rockin', it just, there are times where he's got to go, maybe take some pills, he's rocking a little bit less. It just, it's sad. It just sucks. Just talented actor, natural as reactions. He's natural. That's the best way to describe him, a natural actor. And he's easy to root for, with the innocent face, but at the same time, the emotional drive. So when these people are trying to force him, no, you don't do this, you don't, it's like, no, I'm not. And later on, when he's confronting Sean Penn, you know what, I did tell everybody, and they don't care. See, you don't have to try to kill me anymore. Because just what? I told them, and they don't care. You buy it with Michael J. Fox. And the story is, he's a newer guy. He's been there for a few weeks. He's in a group with Sean Penn, John C. Reilly, who is in Conestoga Island. This one guy, I forgot his name. Was it Don Harvey? I want to say his name is Don Harvey. Yeah. And then later on, John Leguizamo joins up. Yes, John Leguizamo from Super Mario Brothers, Executive Decision, The Pest, all that type of stuff. And one of the commanding officers is actually Ving Rhames, which I forgot Ving Rhames was in this. One thing leads to another. Sean Penn and others kidnap this girl from a village. Michael J. Fox is like, what the hell is going on here? They move out, and the men decide to rape her. Except Michael J. Fox. He knows it's wrong, but there's still, later on, a big sense of guilt. I could have saved her, could have done this, could have done that. And it's one of those things, yeah, it's easy to say after the fact, but who knows what would have happened during that time. But I definitely know I'd be in Michael J. Fox's shoes. I wouldn't do it. You don't have to shoot me in the face. Oh, you don't know? Yeah, I do know. I would not do that to someone. I would not do that to a woman. You'd have to shoot me in the face. Just how it is. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. So, and then you have these four people, including Sean Penn. And Sean Penn, he does a really crazy performance, wild-eyed performance, but it's not over the top. It's not, I didn't think it was laughable or silly or too much. It's just a guy who's been there too long, who enjoys this a bit too much. Like when he early saves Michael J. Fox's character. He's like, some mad fucking minute, hey Cherry. Or, you think you stand up to me, huh? You think you stand up to me? I just like the wild-eyed way Sean Penn looks at Michael J. Fox. Like, he's not all there. He's not quite all there. And you don't know what he will do next. And I would definitely say it's one of my favorite Sean Penn performances. And it's a very emotional story. The lady, I forget her name, who plays this woman here. Gonna butcher her name. Toy Toulé. I mean, she doesn't speak English, but the way she reacts, her emotional body movement, her facial movements, Because even when you're crying, you get the audience annoyed. That's not the case with this. You feel sympathy, you feel so sorry for this person, and just the stuff Michael J. Fox goes through, and he does try to help, and sadly it just doesn't work out that way. And then when telling people and the indifference the higher ups have, that sadly I could believe. You know what? Stuff happens out there. And why you want to ruin this guy's life? He's 20 fucking years old. And by the way, he saved your life. Cherry, he saved your life. And you want to ruin his life? He's only 20 goddamn years old. And again, he tries to tell Ving Rhames. Tries Captain Dale Dye. He has been an advisor in a ton of war films. From Saving Private Ryan to various other, and he's also popped up in acting roles in a variety of these military movies as well. So it was nice to see him in there. And Brian De Palma brings his direction that you would see in The Untouchables, and he's a very solid director. My favorite would probably still be Scarface, but he does a good job here. For example, the way he has the camera and the way he does the shot where they're being fired on and Michael J. Fox is shooting, and then over here you see the woman getting stabbed, and he doesn't notice because he's firing, he's trying to stay alive, all the fire, explosions, but then we, the audience, see what he doesn't see. And I also want to give credit to the music by Ennio Morricone. And I think without being overblown, it captures the emotional turmoil that Michael J. Fox goes through, and this horrible thing that happened. And you have John C. Reilly, who's kind of a jokester, but he doesn't quite almost believe what's going on, and he goes along with it. But then when they want him to kill her, he's like, nah. What? You can't, right? I don't want to do that. And then you have John Leguizamo, his character, who he's adamant, I'm not going to rape. You don't back me up, right? Michael J. Fox is like, yeah, but you better back me up too. But then John Leguizamo succumbs to peer pressure, not wanting to be ridiculed. He doesn't want to do it, but he does it anyway. So even though John Leguizamo doesn't have a lot of screen time, there's not a lot of dialogue to his character, they still give enough that there's still something to the character. As, I don't want to say an arc, but a characteristic. He's the guy that he doesn't want to do it, but he's too much of chicken shit, and he succumbs to peer pressure. And John C. Reilly, he likes to joke around, but he will listen to what Sean Penn does. Don Harvey's character is definitely more of the psycho of the group, along with Sean Penn. And the way Brian De Palma stages some shots, like when the men keep doing their turn and it's raining outside, and Sean Penn goes up, is trying to talk as if he's like trying to be nice to Michael J. Fox, trying to still make him part of the group. And then it cuts to Michael J. Fox. I like the way Brian De Palma frames his shot. It's very up close on Michael J. Fox. You have the rain just pouring down on him. And just like, this ain't the army, Sarge. This ain't the army. And just that look of just disgust and turmoil and horror. And even after it, what he's trying to, after it's all said and done, he's talking to a friend of his, it's like, I had a chance, but then what was I going to do? I'm going to kill, 4 other Americans? Or am I going to leave and be a deserter? And again, it's just all this thing where he's mad at himself. He had a chance, as you really do feel the guilt. And to the point that, yeah, he's right. He could have done something more to save this girl, but I get his headspace as well, and it still makes me feel sorry for Michael J. Fox's character. And I also think that was a good casting choice, because he seems like a nice, lovable guy. You know, Marty McFly from Back to the Future. He's just a guy you seem to root for. And you know, that's one of the successes of the TV show Family Ties. With his voice and his mannerisms, just a very likable individual. And then ultimately, the trial happens and things of that nature. I mean, yes, it's based on a true story, but they're going to push it into fictional realms. And because of that, I do wish there was one more verbal fight between Sean Penn and Michael J. Fox. I guess the best way to describe it is A Few Good Men. Now, granted, I like this movie more than A Few Good Men, but I'm saying that big culmination of Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson going at each other verbally. Like maybe, well, this might not be the case in the military courts, but if somehow there was a case for it, a way for Michael J. Fox to talk to the people he's accused, and him and Sean Penn go at each other verbally, and that would be the big crescendo. Because the way it ends, it's, I don't want to say it ends on a cliffhanger, but they've been sentenced. You hear a voice, maybe, one day they'll get some payback. And you see Sean Penn whispering something to Michael J. Fox. And then this opening and ending where Michael J. Fox is back in the world, back in the U.S., and he wakes up and, had a bad dream, so to speak. It's almost as if, well, okay, is Sean Penn going to go after him later in life? I mean, almost like this cliffhanger element. Well, I mean, it's not as bad as it made it out to be, but it's like, again, I just, instead of the whispering, I would have preferred, again, A Few Good Men type of just, boom. They leave. And then, Michael J. Fox wakes up. Maybe even, you have a verbal confrontation, they leave, and then, Michael J. Fox staying there, reliving, what happened to the girl, images, blah, 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 boom, he wakes up, and then the scene plays out as it is. Again, that's just my little nitpick. It's not even nitpick, it's just my own little, how I would have rather seen it gone. But other than that, like I said, top-notch performances by Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn. Very likable Michael J. Fox, crazy as hell Sean Penn. Just wondering what the hell he's going to do next. Solid score by Ennio Morricone that fits some decent direction by Brian De Palma. Like there's a POV shot going through the village leading up to the kidnapping of this girl. There's certain shots of that nature. Not as much as other Brian De Palma films, like The Untouchables, but still, it's there. Nice location. Like they said, they shot in Thailand, so you get some nice vistas. That does make you believe they were in Vietnam. I mean, they weren't, but you could easily buy it with the way certain shots are, where our characters, especially early on in the film, and you see the backdrop. And yeah, it's a tough story, but it was a story that needed to be told. And the rape scene, they handle it fittingly, as in we know what's going on, but we don't have to focus on it, exploitation style, but you still get the emotional core of it. An overall solid movie. Like Casualties of War, It's a good film. See if there's any info I could get out of the... No, not really. A powerful metaphor of the national shame that was America's orgy of destruction in Vietnam. Yeah, I could see that. But that's not how everybody was over there. But, I mean, I could see a bit of that sentiment. Where, you know, we're here, we're stuck here, and we seem like we can do anything we want, and nothing matters, and nothing will happen. But you know what? Maybe we should be careful what we do. Because if it's the opposite, it matters more. I mean, it matters a lot more than even we ourselves think it does. Which is true. You may think you're almost on this opposite side of the world where you can do anything and it doesn't matter. It does. It matters even more so. Even Michael J. Fox, I thought, you know, we're supposed to be here to help these people. Exactly. So, yeah. Solid direction, great top-notch acting, intense acting, especially from our two leads. And, yeah, just a little bit more in the ending. But other than that, yeah, really enjoy the film. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.